Yeah, but his guns are bigger. Recording in progress. Awesome. Well, we'll kick it off here in a minute, and then Marshall will be joining us here in just a couple seconds. But as we get started, next week is Christmas. Anybody completely have not even thought about Christmas yet? So yeah, Jeremy, me too, bro. I was just telling my associate that I shop on Christmas Eve at about 3 o'clock. The malls are quiet. And whatever's left, the first thing I see, it's like what I'm going to buy. And so I go in, I got 50 people on the list, and it's like, bam, done in 50 minutes. It's perfect. Except it's kind of funny because a whole bunch of people end up with Bath and Body Works. Well, that's awesome. Cool. Anybody got any? So next Friday, obviously, is Christmas, and then the next week is New Year's. So we're going to take a couple of weeks off. So we're going to take we'll take a break, and then we'll come back in January. So this will kind of wrap up the year. But anybody got any, as we wrap up the year, anybody got any needs that you're looking at trying to either get a deal assigned? You got finances that you need. Jeremy needs some money for his renovation. Are you being serious? Could you use some finances? Did you use a lender?
So with the extra finances for the Hawaii Kai flip, I think I'm talking to the buyers. They're happy to probably like finance the extra 100,000. But I probably right now I'm like, using social media to find private money lenders. I'm thinking maybe like a $50,000 thing to support the next Quincy deal.
Nice.
But yeah, this is probably going to be like a 5 to 6 month deal. So if you guys are interested, have $50,000, feel free to send me a text. I'll put my number in here. And we could work out whatever you're comfortable with. And if not, we could make YouTube videos together as well.
Sweet, bro. I'll sign up for the YouTube videos. Is that 50 grand to do YouTube videos?
As long as you're wearing tank tops.
We're there.
I think Bo just needs to highlight his hair again, and you guys could look like big bro, little bro.
That's awesome. Can I be the little bro though? That would be more fun.
Yeah,
right on. That's awesome. So 50K, if anybody's looking for an opportunity to play some money with some a real incredible and very credible investor, Jeremy's legit. So reach out to him. He's got his phone number there. Anybody else got some needs or some items that they need to share, request? Well, while you're thinking, we have a 160 unit deal in Vegas that we decided to go ahead and allow some folks to come in as syndication members. So we have limited partner opportunities. 100K is the start. 160 units, 8 acres, mix of 1, 2, 3 bedrooms. We'll be closing on this here fairly shortly, but pretty solid. We've got a whole business plan and videos and stuff like that. If you're interested, just hit me up on the side. And we're happy to get you that information, but kind of fun. We're going to be, Corey, the team are going to be continuing to do syndications. And so if anybody ever hears, so we have a need, if anybody hears of any larger size properties across the country, we definitely be open to that. Multifamilies are awesome. Looking at motels that have been abandoned because of COVID and converting them into multifamilies as well. So let us know if you see any of that. That's kind of our big need. And yeah, that's on our side. Anybody else got any needs?
I'd say one thing we need for on the Keiko side, guys, is we're really looking just to really ramp up business going into Q1 of this next year. We want to at least double down on the volume we did this year. So I think a huge part of that is being able to have the opportunity to work with everyone that comes on this call. So all we ask is, regardless, I think if you guys have private money or not, give us the opportunity to, give you guys a quote on your deal, let you know what we can do. So that way you can see what our most current terms and leverages are. Because that way, look, you guys have another project that comes up. If we can give you 90% of your rehab and, finance, 20 to 25% of your rehab right at close, we're going to keep a lot more cash in your guys' hands, and then also minimize the amount of private money you got to raise, and hopefully help you guys each close, twice as much volume next year, especially, the guys that have been with us that have closed 5 in the last, 2 years. So I say we just ask, you give us an opportunity to give you a quote on your next deal, and we see what we can do. And if it doesn't work, just, come back to us and tell us what we need to make it work for you guys. Your guys' success is our success.
That's awesome. Beautiful. Alex, I need to know what is hanging from your neck. What is that thing?
It's rainbow quartz that has been solderized together.
Nice. It's
Mhm.
kind of cool. Kind of cool. All right. So let's see. Ellard has a commercial property out in Kansas City under contract, looking for a hard and private money. Ellard, do you want to share a little bit about the deal?
Email attendance.
Hey, how's it going?
What you just explained to me, or you can
Hey,
maybe just,
there it is.
if you could.
Ellard, how are you? Are we saying your name correctly?
Yes, you're saying it correctly.
Hold on. Give us half a second. We've got to. Sheena, can you mute Kalani?
Yep,
Perfect.
I will.
Got it. Ellard, tell us a little bit about the deal.
Okay, it's a retail space out in Kansas City. It's on one of the busier roads down that area, highly sought after. It's going to be a value add play. Right now, purchase price is 2.8 million, and yeah, it's 83% lease. So looking to lease up the property in about 1 or 2 years, refinance out.
Gotcha. And the numbers are looking like what?
Right now, it's at 8 cap, 8%. NOI, we're at 235,000.
Okay. Have you talked with Alex at all with the hard money side? Oh,
I've talked to Scott.
Scott. Scott's even better than Alex. That's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah. So if you talk to Scott, then yeah, we'll definitely do everything we can to hook you up there. Kansas City should be pretty solid. If you've got a good deal on that, then absolutely.
We'll definitely make it happen. Yep.
Right on. If anybody can do it, Scott can.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, right on. Awesome. All right. Anybody got anything else that they want to chat about? I think Marshall is on, so we're going to jump over and rock and roll with Marshall Faulk. If you've got any other needs and such along the way, feel free to drop it in the chat. If anybody's got any questions about anything as we wrap up the year, that'd be awesome. I'm going to let Alexander introduce our guest here on our very last Coffee Talk of 2021. And as we take a break for 2 weeks after this week, we'll pick up in January, but can't think of a better way to end the year than with a gentleman who's been very inspiring to us as a team. And he's not just a lot of people know him as in football, right? But he's much more than football. He's got amazing stats on the football field, but his stats when it comes to real estate investments and investments in other opportunities is actually, I think, more impressive. So with that, Alex, you want to share a little bit about some background on Marshall, and then we'll welcome him in. Alex might need to unmute
first. Okay. So guys, yeah, it's going to be truly an honor to have Marshall come on and kind of share his story with us about what he's done since football's ended. He's a serial entrepreneur. I think with Marshall, you guys can understand with somebody that has the mindset to be an NFL Hall of Famer. I think they kind of take that mindset into everything they do. So he's done that. We're actually business partners in a financial services company together. Working with him, literally, my first meeting with him, he asked me one question that kind of changed my life and kind of changed the trajectory of how hard I'm working on what I'm trying to do. And that question that he asked was, what do you want your legacy to be? So all of you guys should think about that during this call with him, because I mean, he's created quite the legacy for himself. But one cool thing about him is he's in the business of helping everybody create their own legacy and help them level up their life. So with that being said, serial entrepreneur, he owns multiple properties. He owns multiple businesses. He's doing business across the US, working out in Mexico as well, kind of living a life by design. But he's a tremendous athlete who's become a tremendous businessman, and he also gives back quite a bit to different cities and inner cities, and as his foundation. So I'm going to let Marshall go ahead and take it away after that. Thank you for your time, Marshall. We're grateful.
Oh, no, it's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Hey,
how's it going, man? How's everybody doing today?
Where in the world are you today?
Today I did an event. I was in Louisville last night, flew to Ohio this morning, went to Louisville, did some charity work with all the tornadoes and stuff. Just trying to help bring resources, create opportunity. I spoke this morning over at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, all of the employees over there. Last night they did a viewing of Kurt Warner's movie. They did a premiere of his movie, and today I got to speak to them and thank them for all the work that they do to make the museum what it is. Today I'm in Ohio.
Nice. The exotic remote island of Ohio. Love it.
It's
It
beautifully cold.
Yeah. Well, I landed last night in Detroit, Michigan, bro. There's cold here that I've never experienced before, but that's what happens. Hey, so Marshall, I think we're going to have a lot of opportunities here to ask you questions, and everyone that's listening has a passion for real estate and investments. But tell us a little bit. I think everyone's interested about your story from NFL and kind of as you exited NFL strong with really good stats on the board. How did you transition into this world of investments and real estate? So maybe start a little bit about your story, because that's pretty inspiring.
Yeah. So I'm born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm the youngest of 6 boys. Mom and dad were just hardworking individuals. And when you see your parents work, you decide, like, do I want to work like them or not? And I decided I wanted to work like them, but I didn't want to work in the way that they were working, and finding a way to do things different. I found football, I found sports. And when I was introduced to sport, I realized that it was an avenue to get me where I wanted to go in life. The opportunity that it presented to me, and the level of education that I was able to get going to college. I wouldn't have been able to afford a 4-year college. I wouldn't be able to afford the things that I was afforded going to San Diego State and learning what I learned. Majored in business marketing, minored in oral communication. Both of those things have really took me. I did my own marketing when I played professional football.
Nice.
And when I got done playing football, I worked 13 years in television. So my oral communication skills really kicked in and helped me in that field. So everything that I've always done, there've always been synergy in what I wanted to do moving forward. I was always plotting and scheming. So as I was playing football, I knew what I wanted my life to look like after football. And most people, they wait until they get done to start investing and stuff like that. I didn't wait until I got done. I literally, year 2 of my football career, I had no idea who the agency was that my agent worked for. I bought my contract. My agent and we started our own agency. I started doing the marketing side of that. So I'm playing football, representing myself in a sense. I have an agent. We're representing other players. Also, I'm doing my marketing and helping other people doing their marketing as well. So I'm double dipping in that sense. Understanding that space, I started working in television while I was playing football. So I knew when I got out, I had that as a resource, but I also was investing. In 1999, I acquired the first thing that I bought like 6 Popeyes franchise. Why did I buy Popeyes? I'm from New Orleans. I like chicken. Yes, Black people love fried chicken. So what do? Well, I
Hawaiians like fried chicken too. So we're right there.
You go.
With you.
There you go. And
I gotta admit, it's not the chicken, it's the biscuits, brah. It's the biscuits.
Biscuits, the red beans and rice, all of it, the dirty rice, all of it. I understood. I grew up on this stuff, so I knew. If you think about Popeyes and you don't really think about it, it's literally recession proof. You know how hard it is to mess up fried chicken? If you mess up fried chicken, you should never cook again in your life. Later, that morphed into me owning about 22 stores. Right now, we have about 33. Of those 33, 25 of them, we own the land and we own the store. So understanding that model and what that is, that then took me into my 4th year in the league. Before I acquired Popeyes, a friend of mine playing golf, I joined the country club. Didn't even know how to play golf. Joined the country club because I was told, hey, this is where you meet real business people. Met a guy named Ron Salke. He literally taught me the elevator escalator business. I had no idea what it was. And then when I moved to St. Louis, I opened up my own elevator escalator business. One of the attorneys who started working for us in the agency, his father worked for the city controller. So they helped us get deals in the city as a minority that they have to give away.
Wow.
So hospitals, any type of government buildings, we got to come check your elevator. We got to come check your escalator. You have to get it checked 2 to 3 times a year. It's mandatory just to make sure. New buildings went up, the government, hey, we will give you the elevator because we want the servicing contract. The servicing contract is anywhere from 10 to 20 years. We have to come out twice a year, 3 times a year for some government buildings. Each time we come out, it's anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 for service.
Gotcha.
2 to 4 elevators in the building. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, so while you're playing football, you've also got elevators and escalators in the back of your mind.
Elevators, escalators, and Popeyes, and the agency is that those were the main things that I did.
That's awesome. Hey, can I pause there? Because I think that by itself is pretty incredible, because the mindset you had as a football player, where you had so much going on as an athlete, yet you had a mindset to say, hey, there's other opportunities. Let's seize those opportunities. I think a lot of people, we miss that in life because we get so focused in on one thing and we like to do one thing and we focus in and almost to a fault, because then we don't see great other opportunities right in front of our face. Like you said, an opportunity for something that they have to get done, they have to get inspected. Minorities are, part of these contracts. So what would you say to folks who are, kind of in a point in life where they're trying to make sure that they have a mindset that sees other opportunities besides just where they're at right now? What encouragement would you give to that?
Yeah, I know a lot of people say if you're doing multiple things, you're distracted, you're probably not doing one thing right. And I think opportunity, business, and understanding how many streams of income you need to have in order to be successful, and that by having multiple streams of income, a recession won't hurt you. It may damage you, but it will not hurt you. It won't cripple your assets. I say everything revolves around money. And if your relationship with money is good, if you have a good relationship with money and you understand how your money is working for you and your financial intelligence is up to par, then doing multiple things shouldn't be a problem, because you should see the dollars and cents, not cents, but cents in everything. And if you see that, it should not be hard. It should not be hard. The layers of doing multiple things, if you are making sure that financially you're making the best decision and you surround yourself with the good group of people. So, and here's the thing, you can't be cheap when you're trying to make money or you're trying to grow something. You can't. So you have to surround yourself with the right type of people, get the right information, and go out and build yourself an empire. Anybody can build a business, but when you build empires, inside of that empire is other people's businesses that you help build. You create other entrepreneurs when you build empires.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You can create a business, but when you create an empire, you really have multiple businesses and helping other people start businesses, which then becomes your empire.
Yep.
Love it. And that's entrepreneurship like 5.0 or on crack. Yeah. I mean, that's not just starting one business. And sometimes as investors, I think a lot of us on this call, we focus in on just house flipping or just multifamilies or just, some lane. But I love what you're talking about is to really take a look at, how do you make the world a better place? How do you have a mindset to say, hey, let's just not start one business, but let's do multiple things. So that way many more people get to be a part of it and have careers and businesses and such. So I love it. I'm just curious, because you got all these friends, right, that are NFL players at the time. You're sitting on the sidelines, at halftime, probably checking to make sure everybody's doing their jobs at the elevator company and the agency and everything else. But then everybody else is, partying and doing all these other things. Kind of, what did that feel like or look like? Because that's, to me, a type of leadership that stands separate from what everybody else does, goes against the flow against the grain. And then you are where you are today. So just tell us a little bit about that kind of scenario of life.
Yeah, a lot of guys are doing a lot of different things, moving in different areas, different spaces, and the unique thing with us is, and let's say Hall of Fame, we get together twice a year. We get together at the Super Bowl, and we get together in July, July, in the July August for enshrinement, and when we sit around, we talk very little about football, but we talk more about life, how we're moving, what we're doing in business, how the things that I'm doing can help other people, how the things that they're doing can help others. And we're trying to foster and grow relationships with one another to make sure that we're taking care of each other, that the opportunities that are out there are not being missed. A lot of people hoard those opportunities. They want to make money and make money by themselves. It ain't fun to make money alone. You want to make money with people, and you want to help other people, and you want to share in the success. And that's what we do. Charles Whitson, you'll see him like within the next couple of years. He's making wine. He has some of the best wine coming out. He and Drew Bledsoe, they collaborated, and Drew Bledsoe has some amazing wine as well. There's just so many guys doing amazing things in the world today. Herman Moore up in Detroit, his logistics company and what they're doing and how they're moving. Roger Staubach and all the if you guys are in real estate, if you want to talk about outside of Jerry Jones and what he's done in the Dallas, Texas area, Roger Staubach is one of the biggest real estate investors in the world. And people, he don't talk much about it, but we have so many guys doing amazing things, and we sit around and we collaborate and we talk. And what it does is, I know if I want to do something in the real estate space, I have Roger. I can call Roger as a resource, and that's the good part about it. I always say when it comes to, there's two rules of thought. You can invest and then educate, or educate and then invest. I educate first and then invest. Some people they invest and then they educate themselves about it. That's dicey. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's dicey.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, let's talk about investments a little more then. So you did the Popeyes, 32 units now, stores now. What else is in your investment world right now?
If I had to tell you, the most lucrative thing that I've ever done was me, my attorney, one of my attorneys, and two of my good friends in the city of St. Louis. We literally own a block of real estate. And the highest profiting thing on that block of real estate is a 7-story parking structure that we have that requires very little maintenance. Somebody sweeps it and sprays it once a month. The trash people, they put the trash out. We have somebody there that man the door from 8 to 5 on the weekdays, and on the weekends, it's you cart in and out. It's pretty simple. I'm gonna tell you guys, I never knew that parking structures could make money like that. In that block, we have restaurants, bars, all kinds of things on that block that's making us money, because we pretty much, it's like Monopoly. We bought a block. We literally bought up a block of real estate over a 5-year period.
That's amazing. So parking garages, cars, and parking structures.
A parking structure, easy money, literally.
Yeah.
Easy money. I just and there's no overhead.
Yeah, exactly. Except for a little bit of some maintenance once in a while, but it's concrete and cement block, right? So
yep.
That's awesome. Okay, so you got that going on. You've got the Popeyes going on. You're also an entrepreneur in the insurance area as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. So once I realized that as a person whom, and this was like over 5 years ago, I realized as a person whom was doing all of the stuff that I was doing, and financially I was set up pretty well. I really didn't understand how currency worked and money and the energy behind it. And what it really boiled down to, exactly what I said to you guys early, my relationship with money wasn't the way I thought it was. I didn't really see it for what it was. It's a tool and a vessel that allows you to do so much. But if you give it the power instead of allowing it to give you the power, then it'll own you. You'll slave after it and work after it and hoard it and have such an awful relationship with it. The insurance world really taught me about that, because as you guys saw, the whole George Floyd thing, and I say this, and I hope there's some minorities on the call, and if you're Black, we scream Black Lives Matter, but our people are the least insured when it comes to life insurance. And if life matters, why not insure your damn life? I don't understand that.
Yeah,
People say the GoFundMe, I say go fuck you. Like, no, take care of yourself. Make sure that if you have a kid in this country, if you have a kid, it should be required, just like when you buy a car, guess what you got to get? Car insurance. When you buy a home, got to get homeowners insurance. Damn, when you get an iPhone or a new Samsung, you got to get phone insurance. Why, when you have a kid, do you not have to get life insurance? Why, if something happens to you, the burden on the state or us as taxpayers to take care of your child? And it shouldn't be that way. And the education that goes around, once you start looking at life insurance, and you realize that, go in any major city, look up at the buildings. I guarantee you, if you see 10 buildings, 5 of them will have insurance names on it. If you think about the stadiums where people play, whether it's soccer, Allianz, whether it's State Farm, MetLife, those are insurance companies. Yep. They bear the birth of wealth. And how they get to do it is an anomaly. You probably didn't know this. When you pay insurance, let's say life insurance, if everybody on this call were paying $1,000 a month for life insurance, do you understand that the life insurance company don't have to pay taxes on the assets that they accumulate until you die and they pay out? So they get to take that money in and invest it and not pay taxes on even the invested money until you put a claim in or you pass away. So with that, they allow you as the customer to participate in the same way. You get to invest in your life, in your insurance, as an investment, not just as an insurance vehicle. And when you do that, the money you accumulate, they can't tax you on it either.
Gotcha.
It's the easiest transference of wealth.
Yeah.
And I know you guys are in real estate. It's like, oh, I'll leave my kids this house and his portfolio. I'm gonna put it in a will and trust. No, they're going to deal with probate. Unless it's your wife, they're going to deal with probate. Your trust is going to take a minute for them to get the assets. Where in life insurance, when you deal with an A-rated, AA or AAA rated, you're getting paid within 24 to 48 hours. They're paying, you're getting a check. Unless they need to investigate how the death happened.
Yeah.
Easiest transference of wealth.
So you're pretty active in the insurance space as well. So you built a kind of a team there as well that people can be a part of. You're in real estate, hard real estate with assets, say in the mainland, Midwest, and then you're also in the franchise business. So you're kind of a serial entrepreneurial all the way across. Pretty much.
If there's something that interests me, I literally just invested into American Films. That they literally make American Films as a company. I invested in that. I just got on their board. I do Voyager. I don't know if you guys understand. Voyager is a crypto platform. They have a wallet and they also own their own cryptocurrency. I'm part of that. I'm into a lot of different stuff. I'm a green guy. I drive an electric car. My house has solar. All of my homes have solar on it. I just believe in that, and make a difference. Make a difference. We have an energy product where we're creating hydrogen for cars. We have something that's very unique. Just imagine we will have grids that can The same way, I don't know if you guys remember that before cell phones, all telephone line were underground, the same way electricity is. Well, pretty soon, the same way Wi-Fi allows us to get data, the way data transfers now, pretty soon electricity will be the same way. You'll have a
Yeah.
grid in a country and a grid in another country, and they'll just send over electricity.
So you're kind of involved in all types of things. So when you look at your day to day, I mean, there's so many different parts of your story, Marshall, that we can unpack. And so I'll let folks just try to jump in on the chat too if you got more questions. I'm just the host to keep asking questions on stuff that comes to my mind. But a part of what fascinates me is because I know a little bit more about you than most of the folks here, but how do you run your day-to-day schedule? I mean, you've got businesses all over the place. You've got engagements. You're flying to speak here and contribute here. And your heart of generosity is massive, which draws you to all kinds of different events. But how do you organize the big rocks of your day to allow yourself to be effective, but yet still have balance for your family?
Yeah, 6 to 12, 12 to 6, 6 to 12. That's like everything for me. My day is divided up into three parts of the day. I have 3 parts of the day, and I delegate what is going to fit into which part. And depending on where the business is and the meetings that I gotta have, where I put those meetings. If we work together, nighttime is not a time that we don't work. I believe work happens when it happens. And I know everybody don't believe in that. And when you take time off, you take time off. When you vacation, but when you work, we work. So I don't really have I live by a calendar. My Calendly is like it's very friendly. And you know, I double book myself a lot because if something cancels or something happens, I want to have something to do. I don't like downtime. I just don't have time for downtime. My downtime is when I decide to vacation.
Or when we're dead, we got all of eternity to rest, right?
There you go.
There you go. So 6 to 12, 12 to 6. So how does that work? So you're just like, hey, this is going to fit in my morning chunk. This is going to be an afternoon thing. And that's kind of how you do that. But do you chunk it by, hey, this part of the day is Popeyes and we're going to kind of focus here, or every day just kind of rotates?
Yeah, it rotates. And I don't, so every second week we have a call, like every 2 weeks we have a call for Popeyes. So I understand. And then after that call, there's another call. So I already know, like everything is already set up. Elevator business, we only talk once a month. You know, everything is already set up. Those calls are already predetermined. I know when they're going to be, and I have to fit my schedule around when those calls are going to happen, because it's not just me. I have to honor other people's time as well, and when it's convenient for them. So we agreed on a time, and I make those times, and I make it happen. The agency stuff, I back channel with my business partner in that, just to find out like how to go with the kids. Do I have to show up at anybody's house? Do I have to call a parent? Who wants to talk to me versus who doesn't want to talk to me? Because sometimes they want to find out, hey, okay, you had Rocky as an agent. Like, what was that like? And I have to share with them what him being an agent was like for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. How many kids do you represent right now in the agency?
We have about 23 kids. 25 is our max. We have 25 as the max. We won't go more than 25 because we're very personal with our clients. And I think when you get too big, you start passing kids off to assistants and stuff like that. And we don't do that.
Got it. How many people do you have on the team on the agency side?
6.
6. And then so those all report to a director, and that director reports to you? Right.
Well, the director don't report to me. He and I, we talk. We're business partners, he and I.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So they're all agents. Yeah, it's Rocky, and then there's 5 agents underneath that work with him. He's an agent. They're all agents, and then he and I, we collaborate.
Gotcha. Okay, so that helps you to have a little bit of separation, yet still stay on the pulse of everything that's going on with the kids.
Yes. Yes.
Great. So on the Popeye side, how does that work? 32 stores means 32 managers, got to be 200, 300 employees. How does
Oh
that
yeah,
come up?
man. So I have a equity, I have a partner who's in order to own Popeyes, you have to had worked in the business. So one of my good friends, he brought the deal to me. So he and I, we're 50-50 partners. And he's the managing operator. We have two general managers that handle all the managers. So we're not dealing with the managers. And that's how the system operates. So the two general managers and the two partners, we meet every 2 weeks.
That's fantastic. So then that gives you some separation and not be all in the details or in the weeds. And so you bring some financing then, and then they bring in the practical day-to-day relationships and oversight.
So I handle for us all of our benefits. I handle all of our insurable needs, anything surrounding expenses and things that are going to cost us in the financial space. As the broker, I shop those things around and bring the best deals to us to make sure that we are giving our employees the best things possible.
That's awesome. And then about the real estate that you own with the parking garage, and that is, how does that work in terms of, you got a manager overseeing kind of the operations there as well and a partner on that?
So my attorney, his daughter, she owns a managing company that manages all of the property, like pretty much the whole block. We literally we vote twice a year on different stuff, and we read balance sheets. There's not there's not much there.
Yeah,
like
that's
as
awesome.
big as that sound, it's a very it requires the least amount of time in a sense.
Huh. Interesting, huh? The parking garage that takes the least amount of effort, the least amount of headache, probably brings the biggest return, which is fantastic. So it
And
sounds like
we've all everybody in the group, we've agreed to never sell. It would only be internal selling, because that is for our kids. That's going to be for our kids for the rest of their lives. Like, it's going to be a part of the legacy that we're building.
That's awesome. I love it. So in regards to, it sounds like you do a lot of partnerships in your businesses, agency, in terms of what you're doing there with the real estate, and then also with Popeyes. Talk about partnerships. How do you find a good partner? Because it sounds like to scale, sometimes a good partner is really important. And sometimes in real estate investing, a lot of us are doing are solo entrepreneurs. But how do you find a partner when you're worried about, can you trust them? How do you find the right one? How do you make sure you don't kill them? How does that work for you?
Yeah, I always look for people that I can learn to trust. I want to learn how to trust you, because all partnerships don't start off to where you can trust someone. I want someone that I can depend on. I want someone that brings something to the table, that have ideas that's different than mine. I want an edgy partner that we don't agree on everything, but we respect what each other is saying, and it makes sense, even if it goes against what I think or what he thinks or what she thinks. It doesn't matter. What matters is, at the end of the day, are we making the best decision possible to grow this business so we can get the most out of it? That's partnerships are, they can be hard and they can be easy, but I think they should always, whether hard or easy, be respectful. We should always respect one another's space, and not allow personal things to get in the way of what we're doing business wise.
That's awesome. Well, there's got that old saying, the only ship that doesn't sail is a partnership. And so it's always, partnerships are tough, but
they are. Well, if you guys are okay with having two captains, and when you captain a ship, I'm on board. And when I captain a ship, you're on board. The problem is someone always wants to be the captain. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's good. I love it. That's good. Hey, Alex, do you have anything? I've just been kind of talking story here.
Yeah, Marshall, tell us. I'd like to hear a little bit more about what your focus is on giving back and with the foundation. And, maybe if there's any way that, some of us on the call can contribute, what's the best way? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I'm a believer in that our youth today, they need more opportunity, and they need to see more opportunity than they know of. It happened for me. Just taking a visit to a college, being exposed to some other stuff opened my eyes and got me to see that there was more out there, aside from what my family's telling me and what my community is showing me. And so my whole philanthropic effort is to make sure that kids are exposed to different things, that they are educated and empowered to do more than what they can see. I'm a firm believer that before your feet ever take you somewhere, your mind has to go there. If your mind doesn't explore it, your feet can't get you there. You're never going to walk into your dream home if mentally you can't see that dream home before you even get there. So what we have to do is we have to expose these kids and make sure that they're dreaming, that they believe in something other than what they see, because dreams is how we connect ourselves to the reality of life. A lot of people, they're not chasing dreams. Too many people in the world, they've never won in life. They've never accomplished anything. And if you find yourself as that type of person, then you need to be pushed. You need someone to help you to dream again. Because at the end of the day, I'm sure each and every one of you on this call, you have some monetary goal that you want to attain. And there's probably nobody in your life who has attained that goal before, but you have some lofty number of some millions or billions. The question is, what's the connectivity to it? Because you're not going to get to see it. Well, you got to dream about it. You got to imagine what that life is going to be like. And we need it as adults, but even more so as kids, because every day, whether it's social media, whether it's TV or regular media, it's taking that away from them. And they don't even know they're being robbed of their ability to dream. And they're settling for, likes, followers. And we want to give that back. And I just want to be impactful.
That's awesome. I love it. Alex, you were asking a second part?
Yeah. What is there any way for us on the call to give back to your foundation, to donate? I'm sure we'd love to support what you're doing and giving back and helping people dream again, because that is truly powerful. And I know as an athlete growing up, sports is definitely an amazing outlet for people. And then going to see a school, talking to colleges and having those dreams, it's huge on keeping you on a path of, focusing on getting through school and staying focused on the sports and not getting sidetracked in the nonsense.
Yeah, here's what I do. I work in a very unique space. As a foundation, I fundraise, but what I do is, if you want to make a donation or do something, I want that to be in your community. So what I'll do is, in your community, I will connect with a charity in your community and find you, hey, this is who you donate to. Because I think that we all need to, okay, here's the United Way, here's the Red Cross. No, let's affect change in your community so you can see it, so you can attach to those kids and make change in your community. So that's what I do. I look for whenever somebody comes to me and they want to make a donation, I'm like, okay, where do you live? All right, cool. Give me a week. I find something in their community and I'm like, this is something you can get behind.
I love it. I love it. Marshall, what else would you say to entrepreneurs who are trying to scale to the next level? Like, you've certainly gone many, many levels on the business ownership mindset as an entrepreneur, and then moving now to the foundation, because I think that's where the ultimate joy becomes, is taking all of the profits and all of the lessons and now giving back in a meaningful way to make a difference. So how would you encourage somebody in kind of getting to that next level?
Well, I think if they're on this call, then they understand and they realize that being an entrepreneur is hard enough. So, and being an entrepreneur alone is even tougher. Your system and our system is very simple. And a lot of the things that we do within the business and bringing people in and helping them foster and grow their business, giving them, just like this community here, a community of, hey, let's talk about your assets. What do you have? What can you do? What can somebody bring to the table? Connect, connect, connect. You cannot do it alone. I'm telling you, making money is fun. Making money with a lot of people is so much more fun. It's just better. Dave Meltzer is a business partner of mine, and you guys have probably heard Dave. His thing is, and he says it all the time, and it makes me make a lot of money, help a lot of people, have a lot of fun. Those three things right there cannot be done alone.
I love it. Say it one more time. Make a lot of money.
I think Lies wanted to say something.
One more time, Scott.
Oh, no,
He had a question.
I didn't want to say something. I just wanted to say, yes, give back in your community. So I coach in my community. I volunteer in my community. Do something on that scale, because they'll really see it, and they'll see you in the community doing it.
Yes.
And it really makes a bigger impact. And I brought up, like, of course, native wines. Our stats for native wines are even worse for prison, for being below medium income, especially in Hawaii, because it's super expensive. It's extremely expensive. But yeah, make a big impact in your community. I guess I like to, I'm from Nanakui, so it's a smaller neighborhood on Oahu. And the best way that I could give back, so I live in another neighborhood now, but I go to that community. That's where the low income is. That's where I think they're one of the lowest income in the whole state, or at least on this island. Give back in your local community. That makes the biggest difference. Money, time. Sometimes we have as a football team. Sometimes we do our outreach. This year we didn't do as many, but usually we have multiple per year. I always join that in as a coach and as just a participant. Even if I wasn't coach, I'd probably still help out in that. And I've done it before in the past. So yeah, give back in your local community. That makes the biggest difference.
That's awesome. Hey, we got a question, Marshall. We got a question in the chat from JD, and maybe he can explain a little bit more of the context, but he's asked about, talk about loss and what you learned from loss and how you fixed it.
Yeah, so you don't fix loss. Actually, you learn to live with loss. So I have a whole speech about loss, about losing. You know,
Nice.
I'm considered a winner, and I've won a lot in life, but I've lost a lot in life as well. And so when I take people through chronologically, just the things in my life that I've lost and what I've dealt with, and how you find out more about yourself in a loss than you do a win. There's more to learn and there's more to gain in a loss than a win. And when you figure that out, when you figure out, and instead of being afraid, you're going to end up winning more. When you embrace losing, not accept it, embrace it, that it can happen. And know that there's something to learn. If you lose, you're going to end up making all the better decisions because you're not operating in scarcity of losing. It frees you up. It literally frees you up. When you take an appointment and you're afraid of like losing the client, you actually lost the client already. But when you sit down with that client and you're like, I'm going to do the best damn job possible. I'm freaking ready. I know all my numbers. I know my stuff. I kind of know what they want. I'm killing it. You'll probably kill it.
That's awesome.
And
I love it.
Losses, it's inevitable. You know, I think part of life is, I think everything should be pass fail. You should either win or lose. You shouldn't get 80%. Oh, I closed 80% of my deals. Oh, I closed 90. No. Did you win or lose? Because that's football. That's what I love about football. It's finite.
Yeah.
I could rush for 300 yards, have 6 touchdowns, and we can lose. Guess what? A loss. Who cares what you did in the damn loss?
Yeah, exactly. That's fantastic. I love that.
Kiko, Alex, can I ask a question?
Yeah, Kurt.
Mr. Faulk, honor. I saw you at Aloha Stadium ripping up the turf against UH, and my goodness. And they couldn't bring you down. And I think it turns into your business, and what you do is that whatever comes to you, nobody brings you down. You just keep going, and you're just going north to south, not east to west. And I just want to say thank you personally. I had you on my fantasy football. Thank you so much. But that's just a side note. But I just wanted to say it's an honor to listening to you. And the question I want to ask you, who helped you at a young age to get where you're at right now before football?
Yeah, my role models and who I look up to, my parents. You know, I didn't look outside the home. I saw what hard work, dedication was all about. It was in the home. Sometimes we try to look afar when it's near, and I try to provide the same thing for my kids. They taught me work ethic. They taught me the importance of hard work, the value of hard work. And I think more than anything, they taught me that when you get knocked down, get your ass back up. You know, because that's where it is. You only lose when you quit. And if you stay down, you're quitting.
But you got to keep getting back up and keep moving.
You got to. You got to.
Love it.
It's a must.
Yeah, yeah. Because it's not a matter, like you said about loss. It's not a matter about if you lose. We're going to lose at some point.
You are going to lose.
Yeah, especially in investors. We're going to lose some money one day. We're going to lose some staff members. We're going to lose some business entity that we really wanted, lose a deal that we thought we got. And it's just part of it. But you just got to get back up. You got to keep moving forward and keep doing it.
Learn from the loss. Try not to repeat it, but embrace it. It's a part of life. Like, you're going to lose, man. It is. You're guaranteed to lose. You show me somebody who hasn't lost in life, and I'm gonna show you a quitter. The reason why they never lost is because they quit before they lost.
Yeah, yeah. They're either a quitter or a Disney character. That's about it. Craig actually asked a very similar question. I think it's right along the same lines, Marshall. Maybe you can add to it. What mistakes have you made in life, and is there anything you would do different now knowing what you know?
I wouldn't do anything different because I'm afraid of the outcome. I love where I'm at right now and what I'm doing. And if it was different, then I'd be different, and this conversation would be different. You know, and I'm gonna continue to make this mistake because I trust in people, and I will not allow a bad person to change me and make me an untrustworthy person. Like, I love trusting people and giving people an opportunity. And there's a lot of evil, mean people in the world. And what they do is they prey on you and they take advantage of you. And then what happens is you close yourself off, and then you become something that you didn't intend to be. And now they've taken control of you. Well, I'm not giving people that control. And I trust a lot, and I give people opportunity, and they get opportunity to maybe, whether it's steal from me or take from me or do something. And you know what? In reality, if it's money or whatever it is, it's enough for me to learn the lesson, to know that I can't trust that person. But it's not enough. It's not enough for me to shut off who I am and take away from who I want to be.
Yeah.
I'm not allowing people to be in control of who I want to be.
I love it. I love it, because we control the response we have to whatever situation comes to us, whether it's loss or disappointment or mistrust. We're still in control, right? And so I love the part. I love it. I love it. Jeremy Mateo, tank top guy, ask your question.
Hey, Marshall. Yeah, real quick. What was the best advice you ever got, and what was the worst advice you ever got?
Oh man, best advice I ever got. Probably when I was taught to educate before I invest, instead of investing before I educate. Like, you'll hear me say that all the time. Like, learn about what you're going to invest in before you invest in it. Don't invest in it and then start reading. Oh, what did I invest in? That's a lot of people do that. And the worst advice I ever got, I don't, you know, I'm the opposite of most people. Most people remember all the bad things that happened to them, you know, and I tend to forget the bad things, and I'm always harping on the good in life. You know, I don't let evil drive me or move me. The bad things I learn from and I let them go. So I'm sitting here, I'm stalling for time. I'm trying to think of, like, what bad advice did I get? I mean, hey, invest in this or buy this stock. I mean, it's happened so many times. It's just advice, you know. But and I did the homework on it, and it looked good. But everything bad that's ever happened to me, and I'm talking like really bad, I've learned from. So I don't look at it as bad. It's a learning experience. Like, the lesson was so worth whatever it cost me that I don't look at it as bad.
I like that. That's awesome. You're learning from every mistake. It's not bad. It's
Everything.
just a pivot. I have a question for you. What's the next 5 years look like for you?
So the next 5 years, and for those of you who don't know, I have 5 kids. I got my youngest, she's 14. My other daughter is 19, 22. And then my sons are 24 and 26. The next 5 years is really, I have within these 5 years, within the financial service industry, I want to have about 1,000 people become millionaires. You know, that's if I can get those 1,000 people to become millionaires because of my business model, it'll set me up to where the empire that I foresee myself with, that I can have it. I will have it within the next 5 years.
That is awesome. What is kind of along those lines of the future and your 5 kids? What is the single biggest lesson you're trying to teach your children?
That they have to work for everything that they're going to get in life. You know, I literally, my two oldest are my sons. I have to remind them every damn day. No, I'm rich. You're not rich. Like,
I love it.
You haven't done a damn thing in life yet. And you know, they enjoy their life. They go down to Cabo, they stay at my house. They go to the beach house. They come in. I'm like, you don't have it like that. Like, it's not yours. Like, this isn't yours. And reminding them that hard work needs to be put in. You know, they live a different life than what I live, and they don't know hard work. And here's the problem. I can't create hard work for them because I live a different type of life. Unless they want to come work with me hard, but I can't create. I've built a life that's easier for them than I had it, because as a parent, guess what? That's what the hell we want to do. That's literally what we do.
Yeah. Which is tough, because it's a paradox, right? You know, you want to treat them well, you want to bless them, because we didn't raise that way. We weren't raised that way, right? And then, but at the same time, you know, it's tough, you know, and I think many of us on this call too, as investors, you know, we're financially doing well, and we have children, and we're asking the same question: is what's the line between you've spoiled them and created a entitlement mentality, to the line where it says, get in your damn Camry, get the Popeyes and start frying some chicken, you know?
Hey, man, it's hard. I think it's like, hey, you know, my 19-year-old, hey dad, can I get a pair of Jordans? I'm like, you need to work hard. But then I call up Nike and I order a pair of shoes. Like, hey, here's a $300 pair of shoes. Like, what am I doing? What am I teaching her? You know, it's like, you're in a conundrum so easily.
Right.
We're trying to figure out like what's right and what's wrong. You want to give them everything, and then you don't want them to have anything. It's like, how do we? What's the balance? And as a parent, I'm telling you guys, like it's real. You know, it's real. Trying to make sure what the proper balance is as to what to give them and what not to give them. And at the end of the day, you know, it's like you might as well go to Vegas, grab the dice, shake them up, and roll them, because you really don't know.
Yeah, you really don't. But then yet that's your legacy, right? That's what we do the insurance is for. That's why we build the empire. Like your parking garage is for the kids, right? But at the same time, you don't want it for the kids because you don't want them to wait around and try to get daddy's $1 million or so. So I love that balance. That's awesome. Well, hey, I know we're keeping you a little bit long, Marshall, and you've got a couple things to do. Anybody got any final questions before we wrap up here with Marshall? This has been awesome. You're literally all over the place with regards to gems and wisdom and experience. So this is fantastic. Anybody want to throw in anything in the chat? Otherwise, we'll wrap it down here.
Hey, and if anyone's interested in meeting with Marshall to find out about the financial services, you know, let me know and I can put you guys in touch.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now. Here's what I know. You guys that work in real estate, you make all this money, and then you don't make all this money. I know you think you know where you're at, but it's an eye opener to realize not just where you're at, but where you want to go. And if there's no plan in between to figure out how to get you from where you're at to where you want to go, then it's it's literally like being in a foreign country, trying to get from one destination to the other, and the signs are in a different language. You're in trouble. You're literally in trouble.
Last question, if you don't mind.
And here's and there's no charge. I don't. I sit down. I do consultations and free financial needs analysis. I do all of that stuff for free. I don't charge people to sit down with me. I don't charge for take meetings. Now, if you want to sit down with me and talk football, I'm gonna charge you for that. But finances is free.
Awesome. Just a quick question, and everybody has one themselves, but what is your routine in the morning? Like, you wake up in the morning and, you know, everybody has a, you know, I always say you got to have a routine in the morning.
Yep.
What would be your typical routine in the morning?
Yep. I'm up early, anywhere from like 5:30 to 6. Before I brush my teeth and wash my face, you know, I have my affirmations that I say to confirm that I am who I am and I am going to do what I say I'm going to do. So I hold myself accountable to be who I want to be, so I can become who I want to become. I get some type of exercise in, whether I hop on a Peloton, I grab some bands, some cords. I do something. I got to do something to get the blood boiling, and then my day starts.
Thank you.
Well, so if anybody wants to connect with Marshall for some of the things that he's doing in the financial world right now, it's pretty impressive. And there's a lot of opportunities there to even partner with Marshall and get involved with him, and with Alexander as well. And we've been talking with Marshall on a lot of different levels over the years, and he continues to be an amazing mentor, and he lives true to his word. He wants to leave the world a better place. So if you ever need to, I guess, talk story just about finances, but not football, then he'd be happy to hang out. Which would be awesome. Marshall, we could probably go on for so much longer because you've got so many different dimensions. So we'd love to chat with you again in the future, but keep us updated through Alex on how we can support what you're doing, and bring value to your nonprofit and your foundation and what your folks are doing there. There's a couple folks that are interested in speaking with you about the financial side. So that's awesome. But Alex, is there anything else you want to do to wrap it up and take it out?
No, guys, I think this was a great call. I think Marshall definitely dropped a lot of gold nuggets for us, and you know, it's going to be an awesome opportunity to have you come on next year, Marshall, and we can kind of catch up with you and see where you're at in life, and get an update from everybody else, and if they were able to use something from this call that helped them next year be a more successful investor, just give back to the community more. I think that'd be a great thing. And then I think something from myself and I think Keikoa and Corey will probably do is we need to get something set up to where we can have, coffee talk, give back through Keiko Capital. And then, we'll do an event and we can try and bring as many people from this call that are local on the island to get together and do something good for the community here.
Well, Marshall, we appreciate it very, very much. Have an amazing time. I don't know. Can you have amazing time in Ohio? I'm going to assume you can.
We'll find out, right? Enjoy,
Well, with a
everyone. Thank
mindset
you.
like yours, you're going to. So have a great one. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas, everybody. I will
Take
see
care.
everybody in January. Aloha.
Mahalo. Thanks, Marshall.